So I'm ready for my next guest when they're ready. I know these guys, but I want them to introduce themselves to our audience here. Tell us what you do to help dentists cry less inside.
Well, Dr. Chris Phelps here. Good to see everybody. And my good friend Jason Milton's here with me from Custom Capital. Kind of what I do is help doctors solve the pain points in their life and their practice. That definitely helps keep them from the tissues away. But really, it's more about freeing up their time and profitability. And that's where Jason and I have kind of come together and designed a 2-day program coming up where we're just going to do that, the Profitable Practice Symposium. Help doctors increase new patients, increase case acceptance, decrease attrition, decrease their overhead expense. Wouldn't that be nice in today's inflated economy? Yeah. On top of that, learning how to add new procedures like orthodontics to their practice, maximize dental insurance with the great Travis Campbell joining us as well. I mean, it's literally an all-star crew of people who have really dialed in on our first day to teach doctors how to make their practice more profitable. Right?
Love that. I want to go to Jason. When is this event, Chris? I just want to make sure we put that in chat. What dates are the event?
Yeah, so the event it's coming up. Is literally next weekend, February 23rd and 24th.
Where are you hosting it?
It's going to be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it's also available online. So you can stream us anywhere in the world.
Awesome. Make sure I get that online code so I can help with that. Now, Jason, tell us what you do. I know you don't pick up a handpiece. I know you're upset about that. I know, one of your life regrets, Jason, is not doing a class 2 filling, but tell us what you do when you're not instead of that.
Hey, Paul, good to see you again. We're Custom Capital. We help dentists by making investing in commercial real estate easy and help them to retire early. That's the short story. So on our 2-day event coming up, really excited to join Paul and the other speakers that we're going to talk about that are coming down to South Florida in the cold winter. Paul,
yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Got complimentary tickets for you and the team. But we're going to teach them how to increase the revenues of their practice, then position their practice for a sale. We got a great speaker, national speaker coming to talk to dentists about that. So they've done dozens, so they don't get hurt, what to look for. And then with that, what to invest their money in so they can have so they can accelerate their wealth, retire well.
Also, when we're done, Jason, remember me to connect you with this dentist, because I just talked with an amazing dentist from my event last week who said, I sold my practice and I didn't know what to do with the money, right? And, if you think about it, Chris, we're both dentists. I'm surprised because they talk so much about how to handle money in dental school. She must have missed that class. Oh, just kidding. They don't talk about it at all. Very good at collecting $500,000 dental school. They are pros at that. But when you get into dental school, I mean, Chris, one of the things that, I'd like to ask you about, since we're the only two ones crazy enough to be dentists, is why do you think profitability is not talked about in dental school? Are they afraid of it? We have no one to teach it? If you think about it, it's pretty crazy that they teach us to be dentists and then say, okay, everyone leave. And they don't really talk about how to make your business survive, how to stay sane, how to invest in equipment. Give us a few minutes on Chris Phelps and what you think about that.
Yeah, I know, at least in my generation, so we're flashing back 20 years ago, and I can think of the professors I had at my school. It wasn't really talked about or accepted, number one, because nobody taught them before.
Yeah.
So, let's just pass down the cycle of pain to the next.
Yeah. Pass down the cycle of pain. I'm writing that down.
Just keep that cycle going, right? So they didn't get exposure to it. And back then, right, because, we had really good profit margins. And really not a ton of competition with each other or with corporate groups or whatnot. You could be a really bad business person and still have a great life. Yeah. So, there really was no need in their mind. Their priority was, well, we're not teaching them how to run their business. We're just trying to teach them how to be a dentist.
And I want to ask Jason something, but it makes me the story from Aaron Nicholas, who's an amazing DSI coach, and he's now a sponsor. When he bought a dental practice, it's a true story. He bought a dental practice. It was going so poorly from a profitability standpoint. He goes, I'm going to hire a consultant, right? And he said to the consultant, how much do you charge? And he gave him a fee. And he goes, well, good. If you don't keep me in business, I won't be able to pay you after 6 months. And it turned his whole business around. But that's how desperate he was. He said, I got 20 grand and 6 months of operating expenses. Yeah. And how sad is that? Now, Jason, I want to ask you, I have not met a dentist or a person who's regretted saying they paid attention to investing in real estate. They've always said, I'm glad I did it. However, I've met a lot of people who are quite hysterical about if you invest in real estate, you're going to lose all your money. If you invest in real estate, you're going to have to carry around a hammer like Batman to fix toilets and planks. Just give our audience what's the value of paying attention to real estate investments as a dentist?
Well, there's a lot of options out there, and I find that a lot of times dentists don't know. We work with a lot of dentists, as you know, and that's why we're here working with Chris. There's a lot of options out there, and they don't know which way to go. But I think that when you partner with a company that knows what they're doing and that can teach you how to do it passively, and teach you what to look for in a good investment, corporate guarantees, absolute triple net leases, where long leases, by the way, where you can go and focus on your business and let your money grow fairly passively, is really what we think is part of the keys to success.
I love you sharing that, because it's just like you saw with Student Loan Planner and real estate. You have to know the rules to be successful, and you have to work with people who know the rules to be successful. I've used Dr. Roshan's story about being able to retire on his own terms. And I think that's such a great, at the age of, in his early 30s, and, paying attention to stuff. I mean, Chris and I both we'll all say, I wish I paid attention to this thing sooner. And some of it's clinical, right, Chris, with learning implants, but a lot of it has to do with, as you heard Alan say, managing the money in your life. So I'm proud to have you guys sharing this profitability conference. Just as we wrap up, tell us one more time, what are they going to learn when they come down to Fort Lauderdale? I know, Chris, you have a strict rule at your C courses, no wine left behind, right? That's a very strict rule. But in addition to the fun, just kind of reinforce maybe a couple people they're going to see and how they can find out about getting tickets. Either one of you guys can share that.
Yeah. So, I put a lot of influence on the speakers that are going to be talking in both days to bring the meat. Okay. Most of the time you may have gone to a meeting in the past and you got a couple of good nuggets. And you're like, I guess that was worth my time. Right. This is all meat. So you better come hungry. So the goal is everybody should leave with an action plan and 5 or 6, if not 15 different ways to increase their profitability, either through increasing revenue, increasing new patients, adding more services, or decreasing overhead, or ideally both. Right.
Yeah.
And then learning how to leverage that money to make it work smarter for you and safer, so you don't have to work harder. That's where Jason and his crew come in.
Absolutely love that. You also have Dr. D'Angelo Webster, someone who I've mentored. I know he's going to be talking. He's got some amazing things to share about what he does. So both of you guys, so proud to have you sponsoring the group. Hope to high five in person soon. I know you're going to have an awesome event next week. Thanks so much for sharing.
Appreciate it.
So you learned so much here on Talking Nachos. If you'd like to be a guest on Talking Nachos, just reach out to us at dentalnachos.com. And thank you for our awesome sponsors for supporting what we do.